Hey, what's up everybody, it's Alby, and today we're going to be cracking yet another pack of Aether Revolt. We're going to go through and talk about what commons I like, what uncommons I like, what card I would draft out of the pack, whether I like the cards in the sealed, etc., all that kind of stuff. Tell me down low in the comments if you agree with the things I'm going to say. Tell me down low in the comments if you disagree with the things I'm going to say. Tell me what card you would first pick out of this pack, and why I was wrong for saying whatever it is that I'm going to say out of this, that I'm going to first pick out of this pack. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I open up this pack, and enjoy the video. Okay guys, I'm back, and the first card we have here in this pack is Conviction. So this is one colorless and one white. For an enchantment aura, enchanted creature gets +1/+3, and then you can pay a white to return Conviction to its owner's hand. It's kind of a weird card, works in the Revolt deck. Other than the Revolt deck though, it doesn't really do too much. You can trigger Revolt for just one white mana, which is, pretty solid. But the whole +1/+3 isn't, the greatest. If they kill your creature while you're all tapped out, then you lose both Conviction and your creature, and you get 2 for 1, which feels pretty bad. So I'm not really too high on this card. Not exactly the greatest. But the next card that we just opened here is a very good uncommon. This is Shock. For 1 red mana, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Very good way to end the game. You swing in and then you can shock down your opponent to do the final points of damage, or you can just take down one of their creatures. Preferably you swing in, sacrifice one of your smaller creatures, they block with a bigger creature, and then you just shock their creature after combat to kill it. That's pretty good. Definitely a very good card. Probably one of the best commons, not 100% sure, but red is definitely a good color in Aether Revolt, and I believe Shock is one of the best commons in that color as well. The next card is another 1 mana card. This is Take Into Custody. For 1 blue mana. Tap target creature, it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. This can be really good in like a tempo deck where you and your opponent are both swinging back at each other, and you're trying to play some things that'll help you win a nice race situation. Other than that, it's not exactly the greatest. It can be perfectly fine. I do like that it taps the creature. It's not just that, target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. It does tap the creature, so that's very nice. There are some effects where they'll say a creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, and then people will be confused thinking that it taps the creature when it really doesn't. So I do like this card. Not too fond of blue in this set, or in Kaladesh either, but not, too bad of a card. I definitely don't want to first pick it though. I would much rather be taking the Shock. Here we have the Scrounging Bandar, good old cat monkey. For 2 mana, you get a 0/0. However, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it to make it a 2/2 for 2. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Scrounging Bandar onto another target creature. I do like this card, very good. When it gets late into the game, you can make your stronger cards, a little bit stronger, help you, get the biggest creature on the board by moving his counters onto them, onto whatever, big creature you have. This thing plus like a Bastion Mastodon gets it to become like a 6/7 with trample, or with vigilance, 6/7 with vigilance, assuming that you don't have any, additional counters on this thing from any other effects. If you, play, I forget what the card is, but it's like 4 mana, 3 colors, and 1 green to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and then you put an additional +1/+1 counter on anything that has a +1/+1 counter on it. You can put like 4 counters on this thing and then move the 4 counters onto something else. So that's a pretty good card. I like it. Also, just, even if it's not in the late game, just a 2/2 for 2 is perfectly fine. Here we have a really good removal spell in black. This is Daring Demolition. 2 colorless and 2 black. Destroy target creature or vehicle. Very solid. I mean, it's just not much you can really say about this card. Like, it's really good. You can destroy their vehicle. You can destroy their creature. I basically just said, 4 of the words on this set. Yeah, I have 4 of the words on this card. But really, there's not much else to explain. It's just kind of like Murder, where it says destroy target creature. It's just a really good card. Does a very solid effect, and I like it a lot. Next card we have is Prey Upon. So for 1 green mana, you get a sorcery. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. This was recently reprinted in Eldritch Moon as well. It's a very good card. You have to have the bigger creature, but once you have the bigger creature, it can kill off the opponent's creature. Something to note is that fighting does mean that it deals damage equal to its power to one another. So if you prey upon something else, you most likely don't want to attack with it, because then they could just, block it, and then the big creature you used to prey upon could just die to a block because you forgot that the damage from the fighting happened. So it's definitely not just a kill spell. However, it is still a very good card. I do like Daring Demolition a lot more. Next, we have a vehicle that's rather unexciting that I don't personally like. This is the Iron Tread Crusher for 4 colorless mana. You get a Crew 3, 6/6 vehicle. Not a big fan of it. Being able to double the power from the Crew 3 is pretty nice. However, there's a lot of other vehicles in the set that I would much rather be playing other than this one. This one is just kind of meh, and you can easily chump block it with like a servo token or some small creature that you don't really care about. Next card is Consulate Turret, 3 colorless mana for an artifact. You can tap it to get an energy, and then you can tap it and pay 3 energy to deal 2 damage to target creature. Or to target player, I'm sorry. If it would say creature, it would be a lot better, being able to have the extra option of being able to take down a creature. However, only hitting players is kind of meh. So I do like that you can tap it to get an energy, really good in like an energy deck, but actually it's probably not even like that great in an energy deck. If you're in an energy deck, you're already going to have things to make a decent amount of energy. You probably don't even need this Consulate Turret. So I'm not actually too sure about this card. I don't think it's very good. Obviously not better than, Shock or Daring Demolition or Scrounging Bundar or Prey Upon, or probably even Take into Custody, or probably even the Iron Tread Crusher. It's not a very good card. However, it does have, its purpose in the right energy deck. However, even in the right energy deck, it's still very lackluster. Alright, the next card we have is Night Market Guard. This is 3 colorless for a 3/1. Can block an additional creature each combat. Can be really good to help soak up some damage if you're in a race situation. You can kill off one of your opponent's creatures with 3 toughness. Pretty good, as well as soaking up the damage from the other attacking creature. Not exactly the greatest card in the world. Perfectly playable, just not exciting or too good, unlike the Daring Demolition, which is still definitely the first pick in this pack. Next card is Negate. Most likely won't be running this in your sealed or draft deck. It's much more of a sideboard card. If you find out that your opponent's only win con is mechanized production, then you can, board in your copies of Negate to make sure that you have 2 mana ready whenever they try and play their mechanized production. Other than that, not exactly the best card. Next card is Outland Boar. So this is 2 colorless, 1 red, and 1 green for a 4/4 boar, and it can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. I like this guy. He's nothing too flashy, but he gets the job done. Really solid card in a green-red beatdown deck. Not much else you can say. I don't know if I like it more than Daring Demolition. However, I do like the red-green color pairing. I think I still would go with Daring Demolition as the first pick here. However, Outland Boar is still a really, really good card. We have another multicolored card here, which is Renegade Wheelsmith. This is 1 colorless, 1 red, and 1 white for a 3/2 dwarf pilot. Whenever it becomes tapped, target creature can't block this turn, so it's really good for crewing vehicles, because then your opponent has a creature that can't block your vehicle this turn. It can definitely help you win some race situations, and you want to be really fast in the red-white deck, so it's definitely really good for those race situations where you're just turning things sideways and hoping that your opponent's life total hits 0 before yours does. So definitely a good card. I still like Daring Demolition a bit more. However, this is actually a really strong pack now that I think about it. We had like Scrounging Bundar, Shock, Prey Upon, Outland Boar, Renegade Wheelsmith, Daring Demolition, and now this next uncommon is even better. This is the Hungry Flames, an instant for 2 colorless and 1 red. You get to do 3 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player. at instant speed, absolutely great card. If you watched the first episode of this series, you know that we first picked that card from the pack, and I'm probably going to first pick it again here. I think I like it more than Daring Demolition. Daring Demolition is a very good card. However, instant speed removal is much better than sorcery speed removal. Even if Daring Demolition is unconditional, you can kill things with more than 3 toughness. I do like that this does help you win races, that Hungry Flames helps you win races by dealing 2 damage to the target player as well. So very good card, and it's going to take a pretty solid rare for us to take something else other than Hungry Flames here. So our rare is actually a very interesting card. I don't think it beats out Hungry Flames, however, it is still a very good card. This is Metallic Mime for 2 colorless and 2/1. You get an artifact creature shapeshifter. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Mimic Mime is the chosen type in addition to its other types. Each other creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So I like this card. I was playing it in kind of a red-white, kind of a aggressive strategy. That's the word I was looking for. I don't know why I couldn't think of aggressive there. But in a red-white aggressive strategy at the pre-release, I was playing this card, and I was able to name either Artificer, Human, or Dwarf, because when you look at the red-white deck, all of the good cards in the red-white deck are either Dwarfs, Humans, or Artificers, so definitely went with one of those 3. It would all depend on what cards I had in my hand and what cards I needed, that I knew I was going to be playing out well. Coming in with an additional power is really good. It only has 1 toughness, so it's not exactly the greatest, but for a 2-drop that can help you buff some other creatures, it's still a really good card. Personally here, I'm taking the Hungry Flames, but honestly, you could definitely make a case for Hungry Flames, Metallic Mime, Renegade Wheelsmith, or Daring Demolition, actually, or Outland Boar either. There are 5 really good cards in this pack, and then you also have Shock, Scrounging Bandar, sorry, and like Prey Upon and Take into Custody. So like everybody who's taking one of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one of the first 9 cards is perfectly happy with what they are receiving out of this pack. I guess dream scenario is like you take Hungry Flames and either Shock, Renegade Wheelsmith, or Outland Boar Wheels. That would probably be dream scenario. However, I believe the Take into Custody would probably be the card that would wheel. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this pack, go ahead and tell me down below in the comment section below what would you guys have taken from this pack. It's a very strong pack, and there's a lot of cards that I could definitely see people wanting to take in this pack. My choice is going to be Hungry Flames, but tell me down below in the comment section your opinions on these cards and what your choice would have been. Hopefully this little series is helping you get better at drafting, or just, limited play in general here for Aether Revolt. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching the video. Peace.